there comes a time in everybody's life where they've kind of gone through the whole dating situation. They have kind of seen what they attract, what they're attracted to, what their previous experiences are. And I think it's really easy to blame everyone else that we've dated, to be like, oh my God, this person did this, or they did that, or they reacted this way, or, you know, they treated me this way, or this is how they were. But I think it's really important to reflect. And I think this is a very, very eye-opening moment for everybody who's done any type of shadow work, where you realize, whoa, those people that I dated are an exact reflection of me. They're mirroring me back to me, an aspect of myself that I need to work on. Because let's be honest, it's not that you're dating somebody and you're a victim because you're willingly choosing to be there. I don't need corrections, guys. We don't need to put the asterisk exceptions to the rule. I know what I'm saying. Listen to me. This is when you literally sit there and realize, yes, it's true. That person was horrible. Correct. Absolutely. Very easy to say. Very easy to see, right? Also, you have to accept that that person approached you, and you not only engaged with that person, chose to invite that person into your life, but willingly maintained a relationship with that individual despite the treatment that they gave you. You willingly accepted that treatment over and over and over. And it took you weeks, months, years, sometimes decades of your life of being mistreated every single day to realize, wait, I'm not being mistreated by them. No, I'm not. That's not the biggest problem here. Sure. Yeah, they're mistreating me. Absolutely. Who's standing up for me right now? Who loves me enough to stand up for me and say, I'm not going to accept and willingly participate and engage and invite this treatment into my life every single day willingly? How many times am I going to cry about it before I say, whoa, I actually have a say-so over my own life and who's in my life? As you get older and as you get a little bit more in tune and the more sort of shadow work you do and self-reflection that you do, you start to realize it's very important to not entertain things that we don't want to be a part of our timeline. So the older that you get, that same energy could approach you right now. And if you're healed really and truly, or if you're working on healing, meaning you've at least acknowledged that that's not what you want in your life, you simply won't entertain it. They won't even get your number. They won't even have a way to access you energetically. They may have your number, your address, your Facebook, your TikTok, and all of the above. You won't put your energy toward that. You won't accept that energy into your life. You don't accept things that you don't want to be a part of. That is not your timeline. You're not going to willingly participate on a timeline that you're not interested in at this point. You've seen that behavior before. You know what that looks like. And at the end of the day, it really indicates a part of yourself reflecting back to you to say, wow, there is a part of me that needed more self-love or more self-respect or more discipline, or to break that people pleaser streak, right? And it really gets to a point where you're like, that's true. I am a good person and I do pour into people, but why can't I pour into myself? What about me has to sit there and put myself in a victim role where I'm willingly pouring into everybody else while they drain me? And I'm crying about it and I'm sad about it. And that's true. It hurts. And I think every people pleaser, every empath has gone through this. It's very heartbreaking because it is true. You do give with the best of intentions, and it's very self-sacrificing. But at the end of the day, you have to realize that you need to fill your own cup up first. You need to prioritize yourself first. You need to be there for you first. Because until then, nobody's going to respect you. If you don't even respect you, how could you expect other people to respect you? If you don't pour love into yourself and care into yourself and consideration into yourself, if you don't prioritize yourself, how could you expect anybody else to? And what we grow to realize is, yeah, that's true. We're very kind, right? But we're very misguided and we're very misinformed when we do things like that. If we can't turn around and take all that love that we've given everybody who's drained us and who we've allowed to drain us, this is not just we're victims. We're willing participants in our own demise. We really have to accept that role. We really have to accept that title and what that is and what that looks like. Because when we realize that, and we realize all of that love that we've poured into everybody else, we're capable of it. We have it within us. We know what it's like to look at somebody and love them so much that we just want to give them the most unconditional, purest form of love that we have to offer. But every day we look in the mirror and we brush our teeth and we wash our face and we do our hair and we put our makeup on or whatever we do, and we don't pour self-love into ourselves. We're not giving ourselves unconditional love because we would never treat other people the way we treat ourselves, and we would never want anybody that we love to tolerate the disrespect and the mistreatment that we have, but yet we willingly accept it for ourselves every single day. And so what you grow to realize is you're sitting there begging a person to love you who A, mistreats you, while you are simultaneously mistreating yourself by accepting that behavior. Real, pure self-love really creates and opens doors for you to accept actual love into your life from others as well. You're setting the standard. If you walk into a house and somebody's house is clean, you're going to know to throw your trash away when you leave. If you walk into a house and somebody's house is fucking disgusting, they won't even realize if you leave trash on the coffee table when you leave. You probably won't even feel guided to do that. You might just leave the trash because that's the standard that they've set. There's no self-respect. So they may go into everybody else's house and clean everybody else's house, but that's their standard. That house set that standard. they set that standard for themselves and for their space. And you need to do the same for you. So if you ever find yourself willingly in a situation where you love somebody so much and all you want is for them to love you and you don't understand why they don't love you, you have to ask yourself those same questions. Why are you not loving yourself? Why are you not respecting yourself? You can't even convince yourself to love yourself, but you're trying to convince somebody else to love you while you don't love yourself properly. And I'm not going to sit here and say you don't love yourself. What I'm going to say is you're not displaying it properly, that it needs some work. That you need to display the love that you say you have for yourself before you pour into everybody else, because that's a huge indication that there's something missing within you if you feel the need to continuously dump yourself into everybody else and pour yourself into everybody else and overgive and overextend and over serve, but you can't even do that for yourself. So you're trying to convince somebody, hey, I don't even take care of this. I don't take care of me. I don't pour into me, but I'm expecting you to. So I'm going to pour into you while I expect you to pour into me. If you ever find yourself in that situation again, you need to stop and you need to pull back and you need to really self-reflect on, A, what am I teaching myself as far as, do I love myself? Am I displaying that? Do I respect myself? And also, if I really do unconditionally love this person the way that I say I do, would I not be trying to encourage them to have self-love too? Because we're all doing the same thing, just in different ways. You really have to sit there and think about it. And it really is the most eye-opening experience. And I think that's what really leads people to be single for a long amount of time. And I think that sometimes is good. I don't recommend it for everybody. It's not easy. But some people need to just be single for a while until they figure it out and figure out how to love themselves and pour into themselves. Because trying to be empty and pour into everybody else and cry your whole life about why nobody is pouring into you in the same way, pour into yourself and then you won't have that problem. Then that's corrected. And then you can approach these relationships with a full cup, from a clean slate, from an even foundation. Right. So you're giving yourself a head start already. You're coming and meeting somebody where they are. Y'all are both fulfilled within yourself before you try to make a connection with the other person. Right. You can't come empty and expect to fill each other up when y'all can't even fill yourselves up. So it's really something to think about. I think that's probably been the most eye-opening thing for me. So I just thought I'd bring that to y'all's attention because I didn't realize I was doing it at the time. Nobody wakes up and says, I hate myself, so I'm going to go love everybody else and wonder why. It's because something in our childhood, of course, it led us to go down that path of feeling like we had to pour into everybody else while not fulfilling ourselves. And that's kind of what led us here. So just thought I'd share that.